Angela. These are my portfolio reflections for the PQP Part 1 course at OISE. I'm a junior, intermediate, and senior teacher with the Toronto District School Board, currently teaching grade 6 and 7 extended French. I also keep an online blog about the future of education reform, current practice including assessment, evaluation, French as a second language, and all sorts of educational dreams. This has been a long journey. I was really nervous to take this course. I was anxious. I was worried. I don't want to be a principal. This is going to be 2 weeks locked up in a room with people who I don't see eye to eye with. I pictured that this could go 2 ways. One, I could fight for 2 weeks straight, trying to convince people that didn't want to hear what I had to say that there was a better way to do things. Or, after a very hard year in the classroom, I was resigned to sit there for 2 weeks and collect my credit while not saying anything. This could be really painful. Do I even want to be a principal? Luckily, it was a really great experience, and I think that was mostly because of the people in the room. We had a wonderful group of professionals, all looking to make changes in the world from a very authentic place. We had an instructor that created a space that was empathetic and safe. These reflections are organized according to the Ontario Leadership Framework. I know it might not have seemed like it, but I censored myself in class. I just have a lot of things to share. Day 1. There was a lot. Oh my God. We learned so much before noon. There was a lot of information thrown at us, but there were a couple things that really stood out. I really liked the talk from Jeremy Haney from Three Bridges School in London. He spoke of feeling the culture of a school. I really resonated with that. When I walk into a school, I can tell instantly if it's a place I want to be. I've been in a wide variety of classes. I've been in a wide variety of schools. The culture is palpable. My first year teaching, I was a horrible core French teacher. It wasn't my fault. I just didn't know any better. And it took me a couple of years to unlearn all the bad practices that I was taught. We had some photos in the front foyer of all the different staff members. And so when I came back in the summer to collect some belongings, a student had drawn a French mustache curled along my lips and written "bitch" right across my forehead on my photo. The worst part wasn't that the student wrote it. I understood. But it was the fact that that had been there, left there, for everyone to see, and no other teachers or principals had taken that down. That definitely impacts the culture of a school. Front foyers matter. Recently at my school, our front foyer was changed, and I'm even part of the redesign of this front foyer, but it was very upsetting to see the banner taken down. It said, "We stand united against transphobia, homophobia, and oppression." The principal came in and said, that doesn't represent everyone. That banner represented the most marginalized of our community and had been a part of the school culture. So it really resonated with me when Jeremy was talking about how to go into a school and create cultural change. He said, do nothing. Listen first. Assess the culture that's already there. He said, don't be the leader you want to be. Be the leader your school needs you to be. And that means you have to know that school and what's already there before you make any changes. Jeremy from England said, "We are not just cutting stone, we are building a cathedral." Those words really resonated with me. I need to back up. I'm looking for more. I'm looking to have a bigger impact. The meaning of life is to do the greatest amount of good for the greatest amount of people. I'm not feeling like I can do the greatest amount of good in one classroom. I was really unsure about the role of an administrator, and that quote really hit me. That quote really made a distinction between the day-to-day busy work that I was afraid would consume me as an administrator and the meaningful impact that you can have on a school. I feel a moral calling to teaching. I think I feel an even greater moral call to education as a whole. When Jeremy said that quote, it made me feel that being a principal might be the change that I needed, that I could still have an impact on a broad scale. When Jeremy described as a principal that your staff is your class and that you can shape the culture of your staff just like you can shape the culture of your class, that made me picture that maybe I could do that. I already knew how to shape the culture of my class. and I think I could do that with a group of adults. Suddenly it wasn't very scary. Barry, it's not even break time and you have me convinced that I can already be a principal. Wow. Barry, I love that video from Simon Sinek. His TED Talk called How Great Leaders Inspire Action was amazing. I think I had seen it a long time ago, but it didn't resonate with me then because I hadn't had any experiences with leadership. It resonated with me now, and I realized that why I'm drawn to do big systems changes is because my brain naturally goes to the why. I absolutely loved how you reformatted your goals around the why instead of the what. I'm an educational activist. I dream of educational systems reform. I spend time drawing buildings and networks and how the day will look to our students and what would happen if we took away tests, homework, grades, subjects, marks. I think in big picture. It's who I am. Years ago, when I was asked to help out with our school improvement plan, I couldn't just think about the school improvement plan. I had to examine it from a family of school improvement plan perspective, as well as a systemic provincial point of view. My Myers-Briggs personality test says that I'm an INTJ, which says that I'm a systems organizer. It's regarded as the evil genius. It can come across as cold, callous, unfeeling, because we're thinking big picture, altruistic, the greatest amount of good for the greatest amount of people. My brain always goes to the underlying reason why something is wrong. I think that's why I do have problems communicating with other people, because I'm talking about the why, and a lot of time other people are talking about the what and how. And so we're not really meeting, and maybe I should take a step back and explain the why. Unfortunately, I'm back to the fact that I probably shouldn't be a principal. I am very familiar with setting direction. The directions I want to set are for the entire province. So this is a very new situation for me to set a direction for just a school. I'm used to setting direction for my class, and I can dream of setting direction for the province. But maybe the step between class and province is setting direction for a school. Barry, you asked us to write down why. My why was we can engage students if teachers are freed from systemic constraints. My why is too systemic, which means that I don't think that I'd be satisfied if I was to focus in one particular school. So I'm back to not being a principal, but we'll see what happens after lunch.